So only thing different than last year is you only ever got one solution because you were dealing with linear equations. Now you can have 0, 1, or 2 solutions because it's quadratic. Step 4, we go back to the very first step and we grab this equation that we had, and what we want to do is find y. Well, I'm going to do it with both x's, so I'm going to start with the 2. 2 plus 2 is? And so that gives me the first solution of 2, 4. Then I'm going to repeat that with the minus 1. Minus 1 plus 2. And so that gives me the solution, negative 1, 1. Well, which one is it? 2, 4 or negative 1, 1? It's both. So graphically, what we know is this crosses the parabola twice. Mm. How would you do it without, I guess, is the question. No, I don't know either. So yes, you have to use both. Exact same equations, I'm just going to now do it with elimination. Elimination is where you stack the equations on top of each other and you're looking for one variable to have the same coefficient. Then we add the two equations together to cancel one of them. Does that kind of seem familiar? Okay. So I'm going to put this first equation on top. And this is going to seem weird for a second, but you'll see why I'm doing it. I'm going to add 0x and 0 for the constant. Now when I go to look at the other equation, I don't have any x squared, so I'm going to put 0x squared, and then followed by my plus x plus 2. Seeing it now, what was the point of putting those zeros in? So that it lines up properly, because if you just line it up, you're going to have an x squared and an x, and we can't add those together. So we put the zeros just to represent the different placements. This one I'm going to subtract because what do I want to cancel? Oh no, actually nothing will cancel. It's fine. I can add them. Doesn't matter. So I have 2y in this case. X plus 0x squared.
You mean x squared?
X squared plus 0x squared. 0x plus x. 0 plus 2. Am I still okay? Need to get rid of, oh, I totally just messed this up. I'm sorry, left brains. We want to get rid of the y, so I needed to subtract, which is what I first said, and then I second-guessed myself. Sorry. We need to subtract, because I need to eliminate the y's. Sorry. How do you function with wet whiteout? I can't deal with it. I can't. It takes too long to dry, and then I get impatient, and then it goes all gooey, then I white it out again, then it's like double white. I can't. Okay, let's try this step again. I want to eliminate one of the variables, so I need to subtract the y's, not add them. So y minus y, and that's the purpose, is to get rid of the y. X squared minus 0x squared. 0x minus x. 0 minus 2. So this is the goal of elimination, is to get one of the variables equal to nothing, or to eliminate. It is the same. That's on the other side. That makes perfect sense. What did you start to ask?
So depending on what equations you have, is when you choose to add.
Yeah, because if I add them, I wouldn't have got rid of the y's, which is what I did the first time. We're right back to where we were over here, so it's going to factor into x minus 2 and x plus 1. X is going to equal 2. X is going to equal negative 1. And the last would be identical, so we'd have the points 2, 4 and negative 1, 1. If the question specifies a method, you have to use that method. If it just says solve and it doesn't say, then you can pick either one you like better. So if it specifies, you must use that method, or you get 0, 0 for the question. Right here. So it'd be the exact same step. I'm sure you already have your piece of paper already with the title. Quad system, and we're going to use substitution. Step number one, you pick an equation, pick a variable, get the variable by itself. Now, in reality, it's not going to matter which you choose, but in theory, pick one that doesn't have a coefficient, because then you're not going to have fractions, you're not going to have anything nice. So for example, I'm not going to pick this x squared, because to try to get it by itself, I'm going to have nastiness on the other side. So if you take a look at the variables, which is the easiest one to get by itself? This y right here, because he doesn't have a coefficient other than -1. He doesn't have a lot going on. Again, in theory, it's not going to pick which, it doesn't matter which one you pick. Just make it easier for yourself. So if I want to get that y by itself, what do I do to the equation? I'm going to add it to the other side. So in theory, everything else is going to stay the same. If I pick the first equation for that step, I have to pick the second equation, and what I'm going to do is take y out and put this guy in its place. So I'm going to keep that negative 18x. I'm going to keep the 2 that's there. I'm just taking out y, and I'm putting in 4x squared plus 5x minus 4. And then I still had negative 8 on the other side. So that's called substitution, because I'm substituting the y for the other equation. Questions on step 1 and 2. So isolate a variable and then replace it for its expression on the other equation. What now? I got nastiness going on here. Distribute, simplify, get it into a nice quadratic. So I'm going to keep the negative 18x. Distribute that 2. So it gives me 8x squared plus 10x. Minus 8. And then in the same step, I'm going to bring this 8 from the other side over just so I don't have to write it all out again. Collecting like terms, x squared's first, I have 8 of them. Then x's, I have negative 8 of them. Then constants, I have negative 16 equal to 0. Take a look at the numbers here. Can we reduce this by anything? Yeah, we can divide it all by 8 to make our factoring a little bit easier. So that leaves me x squared minus x minus 2 equal to 0. Here's the first offer, x minus 2, x plus 1. Got a thumbs up on the other side. Solve for x. Now a really common mistake is people will want to stop here because we've done so many quadratics that we stop when we get x. However, you need to remember we're solving a system, so we need coordinate points. We need a y value. Where do we find y in all of this mess? Right here, so we go back to our first step, and that's why I always kind of write them off to the side so I can kind of easily pick them out. And so for the first one, y is going to equal 4 times 2 squared plus 5 times 2 minus 4. I tend to do them both at the same time, so I'm going to plug in the negative 1 as well. bed massing, 2 squared times 4, 5 times 2, 16 plus 10 minus 4. Offer of 22. Confirm. Coordinate point is? Sounds like we're ordering pizza. Same thing on this side, negative 1 squared times 4. 5 times negative 1. Offer of negative 5. Coordinate point. Well, which one is it? Is it 222 or negative 5, negative 1, negative 5? Both. Questions? Anything you're not sure where it came from or what's going on or what we're doing? Something just flew in my eye. Hayden? So we solved the two binomials, so split and solve. So x minus 2 equals 0, x plus 1 equals 0. Let's practice another one. Another quad-quad system. Does the question specify a method, or can we pick any method we want? Okay, so first thing we do is pick a variable. Again, it doesn't matter which you pick, but be kind to yourself. Try to pick one that has a coefficient of 1, negative 1, or a smaller coefficient. So which equation and which variable? First one and y. There's the offer for the isolation. Now we're going to take them back to the second equation, take y out, put all of that crap in its place. Now what would you like to do? So I have 2x squared plus 4x squared minus 36 plus 12. Collecting the like terms. Do you want to reduce it? Okay, what would you like to reduce it by? Pick a method. Okay. Questions so far? Anything you don't see? Again, your brain's going to want to stop there because we've solved so many equations like this that you feel like it's a finale, but it's not. We need to go back and... I don't know why I did the 2 first. I don't know. I don't know. That's what my brain saw. 2 squared times negative 2. What's the coordinate point? Yeah, I don't know why I switched them. Negative 2 squared times negative 2. What do you see? It's also 10. Questions so far? Yep, be right through the origin. Does it specify a method, or can we pick anything we want? It specifies elimination. First thing we need to do is make them look the same, because the second one has y by itself. I'm going to get y by itself on the first one. They just have to be the same, so I can either make the other one equal to 0, or I can make the first one with y isolated. Doesn't matter. It's our choice. Because there's a negative right there.
But if you brought it up.
Okay.
No, I'm just asking.
Okay. That was kind of 2 answers at the same time. I'm asking you guys.
I feel like it's not specifically right when we moved on.
Say that again. Yes, you're just a step ahead of me. I just haven't gotten there yet.
Oh, I thought you were like waiting for
No, I was looking at Jill because we were having a conversation. What did you say, Ethan? Okay, 0x squared,
Oh, because you want to subtract
8x plus 5. What's the point of putting that 0 in there? It's just to line them up. Now, can anyone look ahead and tell me why I wanted to keep the negative there? Because I'm going to end up subtracting here, so I was just a step ahead of you guys. But that would be 1x squared, and we don't have any x squareds here. So because we have 0x squared, it's why we put the 0. Okay, so y minus y cancels, which is the whole point of what we're doing. 0x squared minus 8x squared. 8x minus 6x. And 5 minus 2. Pick a method. Just silence, pick a method. Okay. I don't think you want me to pick, but I can. I'll pick the hardest one just to screw you over. Oh, let's complete the square. You want a quad formula or you want a factor? You want a factor? We got to decide on a method. Okay, if we want a factor, what do we probably want to do here with the minus? Okay, so get rid of it. Oop. Products. Consensus? Sum we're looking for? factors of negative 24 that give us negative 2? Negative 6 and positive 4. This is where you broke down last time. What do we do with those numbers? So we don't just stick them right in the binomials. Yeah, we keep the 8x squared. Good. Awesome.
It'd be easier to do like 8x squared plus 4.
Doesn't matter. I'll give you the same answer in the end.
I don't know how we broke down the
I don't know either. Just to give me nightmares and heart attacks?
Pull in 2x out of that
Sure.
bracket, 4x minus 3. Yeah. Let's pull a 1 out of 4x.
What's our little built-in check at this step?
2 to the body.
Are they the same? If they are, we're good to go. Can we have fractions?
Yes.
Why?
Because
It just means it doesn't cross right at an even point, and that's okay. Are we done? No. What do we need to do now? Where do we find the y in all of this mess? That's why I always kind of do him off to the side, just so he's easy to pick off in the last step.
that wasn't easier than the last one.
You're not using the negative y?
No, we bolted on that because you guys were like, no, why? I was like, okay, why? Had I been doing it for my own self, I would have used a negative here and I just would have added here. But mathematically, it's the same thing. Doesn't matter. Let's see if they remember how to multiply fractions. So if someone says common denominator, I will just lose my stuff. Lose it. I'm just writing it down. You guys want to confirm it. I thought he said no too. This was the very quiet offer that I heard.
Is it
I don't know. I'm like,
8 times 3?
brain math right now.
4 to 6? Oh yeah, that's already up there.
Like seriously, you're going to bolt on 6 plus 5? Oh, the dreaded word problem. Look how long it is.
Don't talk about it.
No, we have to talk about it.
Damn it.
I know, it's got so many words. Why do we have to use words? I know. Because what if this came up in the exam, then you'd be mad at me if we didn't do it. Except I made the exam, so by transference, you'd be mad at me. Yes. Okay, I gotta draw a squirrel. This might not go well.
Just draw a little like squirrel hole in the tree. That's what I did.
I would just draw like a stick figure.
It became kind of a bird squirrel. I don't know what that's squirrel-ish. I don't know.
That is a really good squirrel. I'm so proud of that squirrel.
Yeah, we got a little acorn.
That's such a good squirrel.
You want to what?
I'm an artist, guys.
Fair enough. There's a garbage can. No. Tell me about the movement of the acorn. So look at the equation. It's not falling straight down. Yeah, something like that. Tell me about the movement of the squirrel. He's going as a line. Don't say straight line. Is the slope of the line positive or is the slope of the line negative? So did he jump up or jump down? How do you know down? Because it's a negative slope. So he's something like this. He's like arms out, like trying to reach the nut. What are we trying to find? Of. Is the height of the tree important?
Yes. Because that's the Y. Wait, maybe not.
Yeah, no, it's completely irrelevant to this question. It's actually taken into account right here. So actually, technically, the acorn was at the top of the tree, but I don't even know if acorns grow on the top.
Well, it could be the max height of the tree because it's like a branch to
Does it say a method? Oh, we get to pick. I kind of heard substitution. Is that the preference of the group? Okay, walk me through substitution. What is step number 1? Isolate a variable in an equation. Totally your choice. Yes, but would you like to pick equation 1 or equation 2? Okay. Where do we put him? In where? So did you need to rewrite him? No, I just always put it on the right so that it's easy to grab in that last step. That's why I just move him there so that the last step he just comes straight down to find the y value. Okie doke. Do you want it onto the left or onto the right?
Do you keep it as positive 3t?
No, sorry, that should have been a negative. Thank you.
Minus 3?
Yeah, because you
Oh, yeah.
subtract 45.
Presto magic. Yeah, we have to pick a method. We get to do a quad formula? Yay. Now just be careful because technically it's not x equals. What should we have? T equals, because that's our variable. We should give you magical calculating machines that fit into your hand. That's crazy talk.
So it's 9 minus
Yeah.
832. Or no, sorry, 9 plus 832. Because double it. Yeah. All over 32 get that word.
Even? Sorry, is there a bunch of decimals or it was even or? Even? Oh, nice. I'm just writing down what you guys are saying, by the way. By you guys, I mean Brad, because he's the only one talking. Anybody confirming this? Kind of. What does T represent? Time. Can we have negative time? So we can just reject that one. Hayden looks confused. Someone tell him why.
Why do we reject that one?
So why? So only because it's time for this one. Are we done? Is that what the question asked for? 1 second. It asked for the height.
Plug in 1 into the other one.
Into where? That's why I write him off to the side, because then he's really easy to grab in this step.